Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of Moments with Lulu. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you're subscribed so you're getting notifications whenever I put up a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on writing papers in nursing school. I am also a nursing student who has written quite some papers while in school and at this point in time as well. So the tips I'm going to be sharing with you all are tips that I have implemented in my writing paper process, and that is very common among students to talk about in class as well. So before I go into this video, I just want to let you all know that I'm going to be doing a nursing Q&A sometime between September of 2020 and November of 2020. So I encourage you to send in your nursing school related questions either to my Facebook or to my Instagram. If you check the comment section of this video, I have linked my Instagram and Facebook username, so you can DM me your questions and I will be glad to answer as many as I can. Also, I'm still deciding on whether to do a live video or just upload a regular video. So I'm going to maybe leave this to most of my subscribers to decide that. But if you have any thoughts on if I should do a live video with you all or I should do a regular upload, just let me know what you all think and I'll take that into consideration. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So if you're a nursing student or any health sciences student, this can also be applicable to you. Or if you're in any other faculty or any program when it comes to writing papers, some points I'm going to mention in this video will also be useful to you. One, if you have the option to write a paper with a partner, I strongly encourage you to do it in pairs because it's helpful, it's less stressful because you're two people working on one paper. There's more ideas to be shared. One person gets the opportunity to catch the other person's mistakes and vice versa. It reduces the workload. So one person can do the body and the introduction and the other person can do the conclusion and the references and all of these citations. But irrespective of how you choose to distribute the workload, is totally up to you. So just make sure that you're picking a partner that you can work very well with, which is very important in order to, enjoy this phase. Number two, you want to make sure that you're following the writing rubric that has been provided to you by the instructor or the professor of that course. No matter what you think, your writing rubric supersedes every other aspect, because for a fact, the instructor that made that rubric is the one who is going to be marking your paper, and they are going to go based on the rubric that they have implemented for that course. So it's very important that you're sticking to the rubric and whatever the teacher has said or the instructor has said. Number three, different instructors or different professors might have totally different ways of how they expect you to write a paper, and they might give you so much insight as to how you should write that paper along the semester, somewhere around the semester before you have to submit the paper or before you start writing. Not all your instructors are the exact same, so they all have their individual preferences. So just make sure that you're sticking with whatever the instructor has said. Even if your instructor tells you to go with an APA citation that is not recommended or that's not supposed to be used in the edition you're using, just make sure that you're going with it. It doesn't matter, because they're the ones who are going to mark your paper and you have no excuse to not follow what they've asked you to. If you're ever unsure, make sure you're asking them questions. For example, your APA citation might tell you that the heading should be at the center, but your instructor or your prof might tell you to put the heading on the left of your writing instead of at the center. It's up to the instructor to say, I can accept both putting your heading at the center or putting your heading on the left. But you just want to make sure that you're paying attention to what the instructor requires specifically, because that's going to determine how much mark you're getting. Also, another thing you want to take note of is the citation style you're using, the school of reference. So there's APA, there's MLA and whatnot. There's Vancouver writing style as well. You just want to make sure that as a health sciences student, APA is mostly used and it's always said in the writing rubric. So just make sure that you're using the correct edition of citation and make sure you're using the correct writing style. So APA, which is your American Psychological Association's writing. So you just want to make sure that you're sticking strictly to this, because they will determine so much in your paper and how much marks you're going to get. Another thing you want to make sure that you're doing is to cite all sources. make sure you cite every source. Like, I never learned this while in high school or any of that kind of thing. I never learned how to cite papers and how to paraphrase or how to any of those kind of citation stuff. I never learned that. In university, they expect you to know it. That they don't necessarily teach you. Like, no one ever taught me how to like make citations or references or in-text citations or any of those kind of things. No one ever taught me that. But there are resources that your university or your institution will provide for you where you have to go and learn that yourself. And not knowing is not an excuse, because plagiarism is very punishable and you don't want to write something and not cite the source when it needs to be cited. So if you're ever having problems with citation, APA style, not understanding, you just want to make sure that you're going to the right resource, and that's the librarian. Like, these people are so helpful. They will help you with your literature searches, your citation, whatever academic writing issue you have or questions or concerns. The librarians are the best people that you can meet for something like this. Also, another resource for writing is the Centers for Writers. I believe that every institution should have something like this, like a resource like this, because in my school it's called Centers for Writers, and I'm sure this should be like something so many other institutions should be doing for their students. Because writing, you might need someone to go through your work, you might need someone to check your citation, you might need someone to check your reference page. So the Center for Writers people are people that you want to make sure that you're going to, because they are going to help you look through your paper and tell you, oh, this is what you need to correct, this is what you need to fix. Even if you have questions relating to grammatical error, grammatical concerns, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to the Centers for Writing. Whatever academic resources that's offered in your school for related to writing any kind of paper, you want to make sure that you're using them, because it doesn't hurt for another eye to see your paper, because it just helps you, it helps your writing, it helps improve your writing, because they sit down with you one-on-one to be like, okay, so this is what you should do differently, or this is what you should change. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this video. So if you have any questions related to writing a paper in nursing school, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section of this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye now.